Hi, I'm Mike Benoit. This is Tyranny Busters, and it's July the 29th. We're going to hopefully bust some tyranny on the mind of man, and that's breaking through some mind control, that sort of thing. You know, you're probably like me. If you're politically active, you get tons of email, and in that ton of email, you're always going to find someone who's sending you something. They got the solution to the problem. And they know what the problem is, and they got the solution, and only things are done this way. And then you got other folks saying, what the heck can we do? I mean, things are so messed up. How can we fix this? And I find both of them lacking, if you will, a rudder or a touchstone to guide them in the right direction, to guide us out of the swamp or out of the sewer. And I'll just refer to some of those emails so we get the idea here. One from a friend of mine in the John Birch Society. And this is one you hear a lot. The Constitution is the solution. The weird thing about that and the funny thing about that is that folks look at the Constitution and they interpret it so many ways. And even this person from the John Birch Society, when I asked him, when the subject came up, we had to define liberty. He said, why should we have to define liberty? Why do we need to do that? Let's just move ahead here. Well, you have to kind of get the understanding of what the Constitution's purpose is and who created it by the states and et cetera, et cetera. But it's not the solution. The founders even said that the Constitution was worthless when you had an immoral people. And when they were talking immoral people, they were referring to people violating one another, not people having no religion or having a different religion or practicing things a little strange to the average guy. And then they got folks that think that the legal aliens are the only problem. We're going to solve our problems by solving this amnesty issue. And they get into all kinds of big, unusual solutions in that, too, and fight back and forth, and people are pointing the finger and saying, these are the guys, these are the guys. This is what's given us all the trouble that we have with our health care and our school and our lack of employment, no jobs, and illegal immigrants. And they're dead set on that. And then they go back and forth on that. Then you got the NSA spying at people, et cetera, et cetera. Here's another one where the Constitution is the solution, and we just have to get prayer back in school. That sort of thing. Prayer back in public school. Now, I don't know, prayer in public school, the whole attitude or whole idea about public schools in the first place. There's schools that are set up by stealing people's money, and they teach things that those people that had their money stolen from them don't agree with. And so you're going to put prayer in that, and that's going to fix it all. What's this guy's? He's the executive director of the United States Justice Foundation. And Ted Cruz abolished the IRS and enact a flat tax. That's his solution, Ted Cruz. First off, you have a flat tax, it's going to be enforced by the Internal Revenue Service. This is just play on words. Abolish the IRS. It's an Internal Revenue Service. Collects gasoline taxes, et cetera, et cetera. Do they mean abolish the income tax and then replace it with a flat tax, which is an income tax? This is nonsense, jarbled up and down. Okay, so the answer is simple. The answer is extremely simple. It's not difficult, and it's not like a silver bullet, because it's not only simple, it's extremely difficult. It's like moving the earth out of its orbit to get the job done. The solution is that we got to stop plundering. Frederick Bastiat wrote in his book The Law in 1850 that well, he talked about plunder and he talked about legal plunder, and that's when the law is set up to take from one to give to another. And socialism is legal plunder. But if you tell a person what they can put into their body, that's plunder. It's taking what belongs to one person and giving it to another person. That's the control of one's body, and you're giving it to somebody else. So the answer is simple. It's plunder that's destroying us. It's plunder that is enslaving you. And it's plunder that you're sanctioning that enslaves others. Legal plunder. What this means is that Bastiat said you're either going to have a society that the few plunder the many, or the many plunder the many, or no one plunders anybody. Founders set up a system that is supposed to deal with people who plundered other people's rights. And we've got so many examples of how we got legal plunder in the system now. They have a family divorce code, a law book this thick, that is somebody else telling you and your spouse, if you're going to get a divorce, what the conditions of that divorce are going to be. It's not you. Somebody else has predetermined it. That's plunder. You're violating your right to a contract. The Constitution says that no state shall impair the right to contract. So what else is involved in this legal plunder? Well, let's say you're given a ridiculous traffic ticket and you didn't harm anybody and you weren't even really endangering anybody, and the traffic ticket is $500. Well, if you're able to, you're going to pass that cost on to your customers, whatever business that you're in. And that's what the income tax is all about when they tax the rich Henry Ford. You plunder from Henry Ford. He's got a lot of money, so he retaliates with retaliatory plunder and charges more for his cars, making someone else pay for it. And it's the same thing with the health care. They drive the health care so high that we got a competing bird here. You got more plunder with that. So I think the bird's on the soapbox, and it's not going to let me get off of it. This is going to be part one. We're going to come up with part two in just a little bit. Thank you very much. Let me open this up.